Is budget a dirty word? How do I build a budget for a life that I enjoy and have fun? We're going to discuss that on today's video. Hi, I'm Larry Sprung from Midland Financial, where we strive to bring joy to your money journey. Going back to my original question, is budgeting a dirty word? Well, I think there's some people out there that give us the sense that it is just that, a dirty word. Let's talk about that. There are some people out there like the Dave Ramseys of the world who feel like you shouldn't have any debt. You should be putting all your money away and saving. And that's not really what life is all about. There's got to be a better way to figure out how can I budget for today, those needs that I have, and also budget for joy at the same time. I'll share a story with you. My mom, and I've talked about her before, died at the age of 47. And if my mom and dad had taken the Dave Ramsey approach and not had any mortgage and put every dollar away for their retirement and their financial future, they would never have been able to experience any of that because unfortunately my mom did not make it to retirement. So should they have not taken their bucket list trip to Hawaii when they did? Well, I would argue that they did the right thing. And there is a way to save for your future and also enjoy today, because not every one of us is really going to have the opportunity to see that future so far out. So I'm not saying you shouldn't save at all. You definitely have to have a healthy dose of savings, but you should not be saving everything at the expense of your joy today. There has to be a way to balance the two, and figuring out a game plan on what's important to you and how much you need to save for your future and how much is available for you to experience joy today. So where do I start? How do I start putting a budget together? Well, the important thing here is to make it as simple as possible. Don't overanalyze it. Don't complicate it. So if it's as easy as you doing it at pen and paper or an Excel spreadsheet, whatever works for you and you'll follow, that is the best way. List out all your income. Where are you getting income from your household from? Put that down. Then figure out where all your expenses are going. And you don't have to account for every single penny, but you definitely want to have those most important items. And ensure, see, is there a positive at the end of the month or is there a negative? And then go through each of those items that you're spending on and seeing where there might be opportunities for you to eliminate cost and expense that you're not using. So for example, if you have subscriptions that you're paying for that you haven't used in 6 to 12 months, get rid of them. You can use those monies to either reallocate to savings or to joy. And you can figure that out. But the important thing is you need to have an understanding of what's coming in each month, what's going out. More importantly, where are those expenses going so you can review them and see what may make sense for you to keep and what makes sense for you to eliminate. So you may be thinking about, well, with this extra money at the end of the month, what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to put that money in terms of my financial future and investing? What am I supposed to spend today? And then what do I allocate or put towards my emergency fund? Now, this varies by person depending upon how each of those buckets are filled. For example, if you're somebody that has already started really heavily investing towards your retirement, you might be able to allocate more to your joy today and your emergency fund versus somebody who has not necessarily done a great job investing for the future. You may need to put more money there and less money to joy today and your emergency fund. But an important piece to this is that emergency fund, because that is going to be your safety net if and when surprise expenses come up. And they always do. Whether it's an issue with the roof, a car repair, or some unexpected expense that you had no idea was coming. You don't want to be dipping into your investments or your emergency fund unless you have to. So you need to have an emergency fund at a minimum. If you're a W-2 employee of 3 to 6 months and you feel like you can get a new job if you were to lose your job rather quickly, you want to have at least a 3 to 6 month emergency fund in place for that. If, however, you're self-employed, you really want to have a longer, larger emergency fund between 6 and 18 months, just in case business softens up. You want to make sure that you are protected. And one last thing, your emergency fund is just that, an emergency fund. Going on a trip to Aruba is not an emergency. A problem with the house, that's an emergency. A problem with your car, that's an emergency. And that will help ensure that those other areas, the money you have allocated towards joy and the money that you have allocated towards your investments and your retirement, can stay intact even when times are tough. So you have money at the end of every month. You're making sure your emergency fund is filled. You're making sure that you're putting money towards retirement. It is okay to utilize that other money towards joyful things in your life, whether that's travel for you, playing golf, pickleball. None of us are promised tomorrow. So it's okay that once we have those long-term things covered and taken care of, it's okay for us to find joy in the moment. But these are just a few budgeting basics to get you started. If you have more questions, I'd love to continue the conversation with you, and you can find out how in the links below. With that, I'm Larry Sprung from Midland Financial, and I hope this video helped bring joy to your money journey. If it did, be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any further videos, and we'll see you next time.
The opinions voiced in the Larry Sprung YouTube channel show with Lord Sprung are for general information only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. No strategy ensures success or protects against loss. To determine what may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, financial, or tax advisor prior to investing. Investment advisory services offered through CWM LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Carson Partners, a division of CWM LLC, is a nationwide partnership of advisors.